As an occupational therapist, I see so many parents struggling when they're trying to feed their baby using a spoon, and that's generally because they've got the wrong spoon or they're using the wrong technique. So in this video, you're going to learn which spoon is best when you're starting off solids with your baby, and also the do's and don'ts of spoon feeding, which will ensure that meal times are enjoyable for your baby and they learn that vital skill of being able to clear food off a spoon. Hi, my name's Emma. If it's your first time here, this channel is dedicated to helping you become a confident parent by sharing tips and tricks that I've learned practicing as a pediatric occupational therapist and being mum to two gorgeous children. So if you want your baby to get the best start to life, make sure you start now by subscribing to my channel and hitting that bell button to make sure you don't miss out on anything. So first things first, what spoon do I recommend when you're introducing solids to your baby for the first time? It is the Munchkin White Hot safety spoon, and that is because it is extremely narrow, and so it actually fits in your baby's mouth when you compare it to one like this, which still doesn't even fit into my 2-year-old's mouth. So it's a narrow spoon. It also has really flexible ends, so it's not going to be cause your baby pain when they're like munching on it, particularly if they're teething. And the other thing that's really good about this spoon is it's quite a shallow bowl, and that just ensures that when your baby is trying to clear food off the spoon, it's really easy because they don't need a significant lip seal in comparison to this spoon, which is another version of the Munchkin one, but it's a deeper bowl, which is just really difficult when they're first learning to clear food off the spoon. So I would recommend this one. And the other added bonus is this one changes color, so it changes to white when the food is too hot, which is just great when you're a parent and you're extremely busy. You can just quickly look at the spoon and know that the food's a bit too hot for your bub. So now we know what spoons to use. Let's talk about the do's and don'ts when you're spoon feeding your baby. Firstly, the first one you want to do is make sure that you bring the spoon in level when you're feeding your baby. So you want it to come in level so that they can have that lip seal and keep their head nice and straight, because we don't want them to angle back because it's not safe when they're eating. But then if you come in level, it's really easy for them to get that lip seal and clear the food off the spoon. So that means generally that you have to sit directly opposite them. If you're standing, it's going to encourage you to bring it in at an angle, which then leads into the don't of spoon feeding, which is that you use your baby's lips to clear the food. So they're not actually working on a skill there, and it's actually really irritating. So if you keep the spoon level, then it ensures that they work on that lip seal. The next thing you want to do is that when you're bringing the spoon to your baby's mouth, you want to tell them what to do, and that is by doing these kind of actions. So initially when the food comes to their mouth on the spoon, you want to go ah, and they will copy that action, so they will also open their mouth and go ah, and then when the spoon's in their mouth, you want to go and that means they will also do that action and clear the food off the spoon, because when they go you drag the spoon out. So it's working on that lip seal, and it's also teaching them what to do with the spoon. My next don't is don't scrape your baby's mouth with the spoon after every mouthful, and that is simply because it is extremely irritating and it actually turns babies off eating. So I know that's really hard, but just get a cloth, and at the end of a meal, I just use a wet face washer and just wipe their mouth at that point. You can put a paint smock on them so that they're not going to get extremely dirty, but do resist scraping the food off their mouth with that spoon because it is really irritating. Now, if you've got a baby who loves holding the spoon, which actually makes meal times really difficult because it drags it out and it also gets extremely messy, you can give them another spoon. So sometimes that's just enough for them to be happy to and quite content to play with that spoon and allow you to keep feeding them the food with the other spoon. But if they don't like that and they want to actually put the food in their mouth, then you have 2 spoons still, but you load one spoon up, give that to your baby, and then they'd put it in their mouth while you're loading up the other spoon, and then you give that to them. So you just keep switching spoons, and it means that mealtime is going to be significantly quicker and it will be enjoyable for you both. And my last do is to make sure that you respect your baby's wishes. So when they close their mouth or turn their head away when you're spoon feeding them, that means they've had enough or they don't want any more, and you need to respect that. Don't keep trying to force feed them, because that will actually lead to potentially having a really fussy baby in the future, which will make it significantly harder. You just need to respect your baby's wishes and not keep forcing that. If you're concerned about the amount that they're having, go take them to their pediatrician or their doctor, and you can raise those concerns with them, and then they'll refer you on to the appropriate individual. Now, if you've got a baby who's throwing food, make sure you check out my video on what to do when your baby's doing that. And also, if meal times are just a little bit confusing or a bit difficult for you, make sure you check out my video on how to make meal times enjoyable for both you and your bub. The added bonus in this video is that you get access to a free PDF document that I've created, which is in the description box below, which covers what your baby should be achieving in their first year of life in regards to developmental milestones, which will give you an invaluable peace of mind. So make sure you click on that, and you can print it out and refer to it in your baby's first year. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and be sure to subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you next week where I'll share more parenting tips and tricks.